Who doesn't want more success? No doubt you do, and that's why you're here. So today we're going to talk about this principle, the guts of a burglar, and I'm going to have you come along with me. We're going to go to a couple companies, and you're going to see the things that I do to demonstrate how I get through to the top CEOs of companies because I have the guts of a burglar. So join me on that. And by the way, this book here, You Can't Fillet a Nibble, It's the Catch That Counts. This book, I tell you, it will move you into another zip code. You apply these principles, it will show you how to be massively persistent and not worry about all the nonsense that goes in our head that keeps us from having the guts of a burglar. So come along with me. Actually, on this first one, I actually take one of my cockatoos, Winnie, with me. So sometimes that can work in my favor, sometimes it doesn't. But real quickly, if you haven't heard, let me tell you how I came up with this idea of the guts of a burglar. Years ago with Jim Rohn, you may have heard of Jim Rohn, great philosopher. Jim Rohn actually trained Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins used to sell tickets for Jim Rohn's events. And years ago, Jim and I had an event that we had to do in Tampa, Florida. And he could not make the event. He had to, he was under contract, because the night before he was in Chicago doing another event and there was no commercial airline tickets for him to get down. So I flew up personally and I flew him back to Tampa. So before we took off, I had a question for him. I said to him, Jim, I know, you trained Tony Robbins and taught Tony Robbins and whatnot. And Jim had several other people like Tony selling tickets for Jim's events. And I said to Jim, what's the difference between Tony and the other people you have? And he looked at me and said, Tony had the guts of a burglar. Think about that. Guts of a burglar. They don't think about the consequences. Now, you have to balance that, obviously. But they are just, they're confident enough to do things that most people will not do. So in these demonstrations, these live demonstrations that I'm going to have you come with me in my car, come to these companies, you're going to see the things that I do to demonstrate that I have the guts of a burglar. And you'll hear me say this often, right? The bottom line is if you want to get results, don't stay in the sideline. Don't stay in the bleachers. If you're in the bleachers, you have zero chance of getting a touchdown. You have zero chance of scoring. But if you get into the game, you've increased your odds. Even if you lose, you still have the ability to increase your odds because you're in the game. This program or this video that you're about to see and watch through the rest of the, guts of the burglar demonstrations I'm doing is a perfect demonstration of, hey, if it doesn't work, at least now I had the opportunity of it possibly working. You'll see a couple of them work, and you'll see the last one that did not. All right, let's take a look at this particular company that I'm going into. You'll notice I'll show you the reception area, and once you get to that reception area, you're not going to get through. And then one time the lady said, well, let me look for him, and she looked up there and she looked upstairs, and you'll understand more of that when you see the video. That's when I knew that's where he was, and I'm going to go find him. Here we go.
So here's an example of the attitude of having a guts of a burglar. So I came to this company, and down there is the reception area. So that's like the first step to the gatekeeping. So if you go there, that person says, hey, let me check so-and-so, then I don't get in. Winnie wants to say hi. I actually take Winnie with me sometimes. So where I need to be is right behind me in that office right there. I just come up the stairs, which are over there, without anybody's permission, because I have the guts of a burglar. So now I'm going to go into this guy's office. I'm waiting. I'm sitting here waiting till that door opens because he's in the office with somebody. Now the other thing that I'm going to do, if I come back and I can't get in, I'm going to come up here, and if he's not available or not there, I should say, in his office, I'm going to go ahead and get one of my books or one of my postcards that I use for business cards. I'm going to slide it under his door. I'm not going to do this once. I'm going to do it until I get in. That's how you have the guts of a burglar. Let's see if we can find some more examples of the guts of a burglar. So let me emphasize, and you'll hear me emphasize this over and over. But Gary, what if you piss them off? What if they get mad at you? Look, here's the bottom line. If I get with the gatekeeper, hush Winnie, if I get with that gatekeeper and the gatekeeper says no, then I'm done. So right now I'm at a no, I can't get anywhere. I would rather have the guts of a burglar, get in possibly And if I get in, I win. If I don't, I'm back to where I was before. But at least now I'm in the game, not on the sidelines. That's a big difference.
Well, take a guess what? I got in. Now keep in mind, it was easier for me to get in because it was a referral, somebody, a friend of a friend type of thing. But still, I had to go around the gatekeeper. I sat there and waited and waited. He came out, gave me a couple minutes, and we're going to see what happens.
All right, there you have it. I got through. Now, some people might think, Gary, that's a little crazy. But again, I'm in the game. I'm in the game. And if you're in the game, you can get results. You could lose, you could get tackled, but at least you're in the game. That's the bottom line. All right, let's get to the next one. This particular one, same thing. Get to the reception area. She looks right up there because I can see where she's looking, and you can see his office. So I figured out, okay, enough's enough. I've tried this several times. This time I couldn't go through the front door because obviously if I go through the front door, she's going to recognize me. So I figured out, okay, I've got to get the way to go through a back door or a side door or something. And I figured out I would do that. You see the video of me doing that and then going up the stairs, and we'll see what happens. Here we go. So I'm about to go into another company, and this company I have tried, oh my goodness, I mean 10, 15 times, but the results, if I get it, would be worth it. So, guts of a burglar. I cannot come in the front door because they are going to recognize me. I've got to figure out where there is a back door, and I know where the decision maker is. So I'm literally going to have to go upstairs in an elevator somewhere or whatever, and then just go right to this guy. But I mean, they've gatekeep me for I don't know how long. So here we go, guts of a burglar. So yeah, I'm gonna go through the service department. That's my back door. Elevator over the stairs. We out for the stairs. We're gonna burn some calories. All right, so his office is right there. I kind of like peeked, moved my head over. He saw me. Somebody's in the office. I'm writing him a card right now, one of my normal cards. Then I'll wait a little bit and sit here, maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes. If that doesn't work, then I will get somebody to make sure it gets to him, or just leave it as it is door. I may just, guts of a burglar, just may knock on the door and say, Sam, I know you're busy, let me just leave this with you. I'll let you go, boom, something like that. Remember the concept, right? If you're on the sidelines, you can't win. If you're in the game, you got a 50-50 chance, whereas on the sidelines, you didn't even have that opportunity. Okay, mission accomplished. Make sure nobody's here. I saw somebody literally in here earlier. Okay, all right, mission accomplished. So I sat there and waited 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I already had the card written out, gave it to him. Just said, let me just give this to you. He was kind, he was busy. I didn't want to take any more of his time. Done what I needed to do. Now next time, at least I've opened the door to come through here again. So I'm gonna do it again next time, all right? So we're getting closer. That's how you have the guts of a burglar. Go get him. I just had a thought I want to share with you. So, yes, I went up into his office. He had a big waiting area. There's a break room there and everything. So understand, because employees, and he goes in that office every single day, he doesn't think in his head, hey, how'd you get up here? Because everybody comes up there. So he's not thinking, oh my gosh, what are you doing standing in here? How'd you get through here? That's not even in his head, but that's something that could easily get into my head if I'm not careful, thus keeping me from having the guts of a burglar, right? Make sense? I got through on this one. This one was a little bit more nerve-wracking because when I went up the stairs, when you get into the second floor, you see this open area, and it's the open area right before his office. And I just kind of snuck on over like I shared in the video. He saw me, and I just pulled away, and I sat there and I waited and I waited, and I got through. All right. Now, I haven't got in to do business with the company, but at least I've made some progress now. All right, let's go to the next one. Now, this one Well, this one did not work out too well. I got in the game and I got tackled, that's for sure. All right, let's take a watch of this one.
All right, so sometimes having the guts of a burglar does not work your way or in your favor. So this last one did not. So I figured out where his office was. I didn't go through the reception. And then, you know, I said, you know, kind of knocked on his door, just like real, you know, hey, you got 60 seconds? He goes, oh, sure. And the moment I said my name, I said, hey, this is Gary Coxe. No, I'm not interested. And he just, I mean, I put some stuff on his desk, you know, and he's like practically threw it at me or something. Jeez, so, but that's okay. At least I got to know. Now, keep in mind, I'm not done. I'm going to keep his information and I'll find out. I'm looking for more companies. Oh, where am I? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll keep his information. I'll file it as a no, and I'll find out somebody that may be a part of his company or that may know him, and maybe I can get in from that angle. Or sometimes I'll just go in a week later and say, hey, looks like last time I caught you on a bad day. And sometimes they're so surprised that you would even do that, they kind of like chill out.
All right, so there you have it. That's what it means to have the guts of a burglar. Have the confidence. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to get this book. You've got to get this book. You can't fillet a nibble. It's the catch that counts. You got to go in and get the catch. I'll put the link in below. Also, I'd love to have you subscribe if you already haven't. I'll do more videos like this. If you want more videos like this, let me know in the comments. I think this is really good training because I'm not just telling you that you need to have the guts of a burglar. I am showing you exactly what I do, and I demonstrate that. And this is how you get more results. I'm out of here. Between now and the next time we get the chat, you know what to do, and if you don't, you do now. Title of one of my books, Don't Let Others Rent Space in Your Head. Go get them and have the guts of a burglar.